Welcome aboard, folks, and welcome back to my regular viewers. My name is Rod, and in today's video, we will be talking about the one and only Bose ProFlight. As you know, folks, I do enjoy a thorough review. This will be no exception. In order to help you enjoy the review to suit your needs, we have put timestamps or chapters in the timeline for you, so you can skip ahead to the section that maybe you have a particular burning question and hopefully the video addresses. We will also be, as always, putting a conclusion at the end of the video, but I do encourage you, if you're considering spending $1,000, do check out the whole video. We're going to go in depth as my reviews typically do. There it is, the Bose ProFlight. A little bit over-the-top specs at first. Frequency response for this stands at 40 to 15,000. Sensitivity is at 92 decibels SPL. And as far as the weight is concerned, just so I don't mess it up, we got a few numbers for you here. The Series 1 version of this headset comes in at 10.6 ounces. On the head is only 4.9 ounces, which is relatively light. The Series 2 version comes in at 9.6 ounces or 4.5 when wearing it. To contrast or give you an idea of how it relates to the competition, the Bose A20 is at 12 ounces, so relative to basically 5 ounces, an extra 7 ounces of weight. And the DC-1X2, which is the light version from David Clark of their top-of-the-line series, is at 7.5, so there's a 2.6 ounce difference, this one being the lightest. All right, folks, as far as what we're going to be talking about, the categories are performance, comfort, build quality, functionality, value for money, durability, and style. Last, we'll definitely make a conclusion and talk about who might this be for. The most important category in a headset review is arguably performance. The headset just has to deliver, right? The objective is to attenuate the greatest amount of noise with tremendous comfort, durability, hopefully a little bit of style, while allowing for crystal clear communications between you and air traffic control, as well as you and the other pilot. So just to let you know, I did wear this headset for 3.5 years while I was captain of the MD-88 aircraft out of Atlanta, Georgia. So I do have a lot of experience with this headset, and I wore it for a very long time. And I do think that in a relatively quiet flight deck, it attenuates noise extremely well. Noise attenuation is accomplished by passive means and active means. Passive being the physical structure of the headset, and active meaning electronic noise cancellation. The passive on this headset in particular are the earbuds themselves alone and the material of the earbud, which is not, this is not an earplug, right? This is supposed to be very comfortable, and it is. I can have this in my ear all day and experience no discomfort, really. So it does get that comfort job really well done. That being said, because it's designed primarily for comfort, it does not attenuate much noise. If you were to put your finger inside of your ears, you'll attenuate a far greater level of noise than this earbud alone will do. The active attenuation, though, is obviously fantastic. Unfortunately, Bose does not publish peak noise attenuation in the active frequency spectrum, and it doesn't provide us with any technical information in that regard. I can tell you it obviously pales in comparison to the full ear cups, as you would expect, but it does deliver when the flight deck is a little bit quiet. It reduces noise significantly relative to that environment, right? And it is very, very comfortable. This does feature the 3 levels of noise attenuation, the high, the medium, and the low, which is unique to this headset, and I'll cover it to greater detail in the functions category. The microphone itself, again, I never heard any complaints, and I myself always enjoyed how I was able to hear my own voice in and out of the flight deck. Nothing unusual, abnormal of note, which is wonderful. If you don't remember anything bad about it, that means it's doing a really good job. The length of it is also pretty good, and you can comfortably position it where you have to place it in front of your mouth. So that's good. Now on to the comfort category. Again, I do think this headset shines in the comfort category. It is extremely comfortable, and both in its design as well as in how it manages temperature. Temperature is a key component of headsets from a user experience standpoint. Many flight decks are very, very hot, very warm environments, and you know, you will sweat profusely many times during summer. So this headset does mitigate that really well because it only has 3 contact patches on top of your head and on both sides. And to put it on, you just put it on like so. So really nice and easy to put it on. You can put one earplug in while keeping the other one out to allow for monitoring of ground personnel or any radio that you would like while listening to flight attendants, the other pilot, passengers coming in, so you can have a pretty good monitoring environment, which is really nice and a great advantage of this headset. Now, again, as comfort is concerned as well, my head is not relatively or particularly large, but I do have it in its greatest stretched out setting, right? So if you happen to have a large head, this headset may just not be large enough where it's actually going to start tugging a bit. The wires do have to have quite a bit of flex in order for it to be worn comfortably. So do keep that in mind. For me, it was absolutely perfect, and I never experienced any discomfort. The difference between the Series 1 ProFlight and the Series 2 ProFlight is the cord. And the one I'm talking about in particular is this cord. They saved an ounce off of this cord. The #1 complaint people had was that this cord created a lot of discomfort. Here is the catch, folks. If you tug on this cord, it is strong and thick and durable, and it will greatly impact your headset. So it becomes the #1 most important thing for comfort to be able to put this cord in a place where it will not cause any strain in the headset as you move your head. To this day, this is the only headset I've ever had that I actually did not use the clip that came with the headset, which is again, just the first headset. The control module comes with a lanyard, so to speak, and I was able to just attach the lanyard to the flight deck with a hook. So that took care of that. The rest of the cable, I just made sure it wasn't twisted, right? But I just allowed it to kind of be free floating as I placed it over here and plugged up on my left. And it created 0 discomfort. I never had any discomfort, and I've always had tremendously positive opinions of the Series 1 headset. Now, the Series 2 headset with the thinner cable is allegedly addressed this problem, and because the cable is thinner and more pliable, there have been a lot less complaints with regards to the cable creating any discomfort. Next up would be build quality. And at $1,000 is, as you would expect, I think, for a product of this type. Again, they do have to balance that durability, comfort, and weight factor, and it's really difficult to do. So, of course, in order to mitigate weight and cost, the pieces are made out of plastic, and there are spots of weakness in its architecture and design, particularly the fact that you have to twist the headband to stow it, and the cable leading to the earbud is relatively thin. Now, that being said, all the connection points are reinforced, and I never had any issues. Most pilots are very meticulous and careful people, and I would highly encourage you to treat this instrument and device as such, a specific tool for work that you're utilizing, and it needs to be taken care of in a very delicate manner, right? You don't want to tug, pull, or throw a delicate instrument such as this one, right? So I would always just urge caution and just to be gentle with it. That being said, I had it, like I said, 3.5 years operating the MD-88, and it's intact. I just replaced the wearables prior to stowing it so that it would be good to be used next time around. Whenever my cockpit allows, I change aircraft, I will evaluate how this sounds in that aircraft as well. Next up, folks, is functionality. And functionality is truly where Bose shines. They do a fantastic job. Now, in order not to miss anything, I'll get my cheat sheet out and just go down the list because there truly are many items to go. The headset does come out with 2 cable clips, which is great attention to detail and fantastic. Oftentimes, you do need to attach your headset to 2 different places. Now, like I said, for me, this is an exception to the rule. I didn't use it, but as a rule, I do attach it to 2 spots. So kudos on having the 2 cable clips. The control module comes with a holder, right? This rubber lanyard, so to speak. And again, this is great attention to detail as it solves the problem of how you're going to hold this control module. Well, they thought of that. That is really good. It has a very sturdy carrying case. The carrying case is both good and bad. It is good because it's rigid and it will protect your device and your headset. It is bad because it's gigantic and it's going to occupy a significant amount of space. There's nothing that you can do about it. It is very special purpose built. You place your headset in here, which is a procedure that you kind of have to learn how to do so you can do it quickly in the operation. And it comes with this little carrying pouch that has a Velcro, so you can put extra batteries, backup earplugs if you'd like to just have one there just in case you lose it, extra mic puffs, you name it. So all in all, extremely well-designed case, very rigid, just that little bit of negative about the fact that it is a large case. Different size ear tips are included. It is very important that the ear tip create a seal. It must create a seal, while at the same time not being so large that it will cause discomfort. Just trial and error, have to see which one works. You do have the Bose app for Bluetooth management and connectivity, nice and easy. Bluetooth version 4.2 in the ProFlight. When you are using the Bluetooth feature, you have independent volume control for the Bluetooth. That is a great feature because you can just, independent of intercom and ATC, select what volume that's inbound, coming in and playing through your earbuds. Really good, right? Again, they've thought of everything on this one. They did a really good job. If you're flying in the left seat, you're a captain, you can place your boom in the left-hand side so that when you're speaking to your first officer or other people, the boom is not in the way. It is much nicer that way, much nicer, especially because the cable is routed to the boom. It becomes particularly important that it is closest to the plugs, right? If you're seated in the right seat, guess what? You just go ahead and disconnect it. You press that little tab and you pull it out and it disconnects. You take the cover out, you flip it, and you plug it in there. I won't perform it for you. Not much use there. Just be gentle with it. It is a procedure, not something that you would like to be doing constantly. So just do keep that in mind. The earbuds themselves have this hook that you can put them out of the way, like so, and they're not flopping around. Like if they were loose, you know, they'd just be flopping around. Now this is secured. Great attention to detail. I must say it's a pleasure to use this in a quiet flight deck. On board the MD-88, the aircraft was so quiet on the ground that I used the medium setting. This is the only headset I'm aware of that has high, medium, and low noise, active noise reduction settings. I used the medium on the ground and the high while I was flying. And if you remember, I just told you a little bit ago, the earbuds themselves don't attenuate much noise. So I actually put them both in, and I was able to hear my first officer just fine through the earbud, which is fantastic, right? No intercom in your aircraft, but it is relatively quiet. Keep both earbuds in there. Keep your active noise cancellation to medium. You can hear the other person, no problem, which is really good. Bluetooth, of course, has mix or mute. So it will either mix the incoming audio with ATC or it will mute the incoming audio when ATC speaks. Has this feature for tap control talk through communication. This one I never saw a use for it, but you have your earbud in there, and let's say you cannot hear the other person, you double tap it, and it turns it into a hearing aid, augmenting all of the external noise and pumping it through the little speaker in the earbud. Well, a quiet flight deck still has a lot of noise, so you just get a lot of noise. Yeah, the voice does come in, but a lot of noise. So I never used it. You can deactivate that feature in the control module. It is FAA TSO certified, of course, as you would expect. Power indication status light with different colors to indicate, provide you information about the status of the battery. And the control module itself has 7 selectable switches inside, in here. So this is a pre-flight function. You would make sure that these are set correctly according to whatever you would like prior to flight. Auto on feature for those that have aircraft that can power the headset. So it will automatically turn the headset active noise cancellation on upon plugging into, or the aircraft's power coming on. It does have aircraft sensitivity selection in case your intercom system is very sensitive or the aircraft coming in, the signal is coming in a bit hot. You can lower it by 8 decibels, so you can do that. Mono stereo selection, auto off feature, which is obviously really useful. You unplug it, you forget to turn it off, it'll turn itself off. And a tap control, like I just told you, you can deactivate that feature, which I did. And next up, folks, a value for money. Again, this is very personal, as are most things with the headset. It depends on what your budget is and how much you would like to spend. If you have a relatively quiet flight deck and you're looking for a headset that does noise attenuation the way that this does, and you're a professional or you have the extra cash, I believe it is worth the money. For me, as a professional, this is how I look at the headset situation. You are guaranteed to lose your hearing as you age. It is just a matter of mitigating the hearing loss as you age. Yeah, I do think it's worth it, but it is extremely expensive, and it is a tool that I used extremely often every week for the whole time I was a captain there. So, I got my money's worth out of it, and hopefully I'll go to a quiet flight deck in the future where I can test it out again, let you know what my findings are in the other aircraft. With regards to durability, so I did swap out all the parts when I put the headset away. Now I did dig a little bit and got the cost of those parts for you, just for you to have an idea of precisely how much these would cost. All right, the side cushions are $9. Control module lanyard is $4. The headband is $12. The clips that go on the cable are $6 a piece. Mic puff is $9, and the ear tips are $9. So really affordable relative to its initial purchase price, and they last a long time. And I do encourage that you do change them every once in a while so that the headset doesn't get either too nasty from being used for too long or uncomfortable, because it will lose its capacity to pad. The pad will just flat. So make sure the foam is still nice and fluffy in there, so it's a very comfortable wearing experience. Style, again, very personal. I do like the style of this headset a lot. I think it looks great. You can wear your sunglasses, and you can wear any type of sunglasses, which is, sometimes you'd like to wear something that has a thicker arm, which is not okay for basically every headset out there, except a select few, this being one of them. So you can do that. And I do think it looks pretty good when you're wearing your sunglasses and you have this on. It does have that jet look because it is very minimalistic in its design. So again, very subjective, but I do think it's good. Now, the question then becomes, well, who is it for, right? And I did address this a little bit earlier. This headset is for people who are operating aircraft that are relatively quiet. The MD-88 aircraft, once you had your engines fired up and the flight deck, you couldn't tell the engines were on. That's how quiet it was. And unfortunately, it had very low airflow, which is not good, but the low airflow didn't generate any noise, so it kept it quiet. It also kept it really hot. The 88 was a hot cockpit. That was my only gripe about it. In the pros category, we have super lightweight, extremely comfortable, flexible A&R settings, swappable boom mic, sunglasses friendly, a long list of functions as I've covered in detail, and a very stylish headset. In the cons category, we have huge solid carrying case. While it does a great job protecting, it is 9 inches by 7 inches by 3 inches. So measure that up and see if it fits in your carrying case in your flight kit. Not really suitable to individuals that do not like an in-ear listening experience. A minuscule passive noise attenuation. Total noise attenuation not suitable for loud cockpits. Perceived comfort is dependent of the routing of the main cable, as I went into detail when describing that issue, and that the headset may be too small for some people. So to give you a little bit of a more technical information, the flight deck of the 737 aircraft experiences a noise signature from about 750 hertz to about 1500 hertz. That's kind of where it tends to peak, and it varies from model to model, but it would be anywhere between 70 to 80 decibels. And this headset does not do a good job mitigating that type of noise signature. So just to let you know, obviously feel free to try it if you're operating a 737 aircraft. I would highly recommend it to an aircraft like a wide-body aircraft, the Airbus 321, which is, I've operated, I've flown it, it's supremely quiet. So I believe you get the gist of it. If your flight deck is not quiet, I would not recommend it. For more details, check out all the sections in the review. I do appreciate your time, folks. Thank you for being here with me. Hopefully you've enjoyed a bit of a deep dive into this wonderful headset. Again, I've used it for a long time and I loved it, though I am not currently using it. Folks, as always, until next time, fly safe.